Discuss this in part 6.
Yes, we will discuss that in part 6. And we're back. We were discussing evolution in the
Right,
last
so let me just
segment.
jump back into my diatribe here.
His diatribe.
Hey, I'm using bigger words. I've graduated from the 4th grade. So you have this perfect example. God damn it.
Example.
Now I was demoted to silly little Asian school. It's
Ooh.
not offensive. I'm not even offensive. Okay, anyway. So you have this perfect
example.
No, I'm sucking on a lifesaver, and I need to stop.
Oh, he's sucking on a lifesaver. Sorry.
Okay, we have this perfect example of evolution on a small scale. Dogs. Now, all dogs have come from a common ancestor. This is the wolf.
A domesticated wolf.
Yes.
Something which is probably different from the modern wolf.
They have expanded into different breeds. If you think about it, a breed really is a microcosm of a species, with the one caveat that most breeds, vying that they are physically able, can still interbreed. Now, if you look at dogs, though, many of them are physically wildly different. You compare, like you said, a Great Dane to a Chihuahua.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have an Old English Sheepdog.
Oh, Satchel.
This dog, Satchel. This dog is 92 pounds, about 90% hair, because unlike most breeds of dogs, Old English Sheepdogs don't grow fur, they actually have hair. And this is because, I guess, farmers who needed to breed sheep were very allergic to dogs, so they bred them. Eventually they had hair. I don't know.
For whatever reason,
but you see that through repeated breeding. Now, this is also much different than one of the most well-known forms, or not one of the most well-known forms, one of the most well-known machines behind evolution. This is different than natural selection, which is in which generations, whichever events in nature cause the generations of breeding to change. Now, this is artificial selection because humans are having an artificial hand in the generations. They're rapidly breeding these dogs. This is much different. This is causing a sort of.
You take a litter of dogs.
This is a partial hand of selection, opposed to the impartial hand of natural selection, where there's no rhyme or reason. It's just happening.
Yes, you take a litter of dogs from which, in the very beginning, it would probably be some sort of Malamute type of dog, or and from there you can get something that looks like a German Shepherd, and you could breed for different features. Like I used to have a yellow lab, Sparkle. She was so cute. Anyways, they were originally bred as hunting dogs for duck hunting and other sort of waterfowl.
Hence, no, deer fowl. Anyway, sorry.
Waterfowl. Because they were hunting waterfowl, the dogs
just say ducks, goddammit.
The dogs had webbed feet.
Yeah, most labs do have webbed feet. Something that people don't.
And they also have sort of a something to do with the teeth in the back of their mouth. When they bite down on the duck, it doesn't put holes in the skin.
Yeah. Or, as Brian likes to put it, because he's pretentious, the waterfowl. Anyway, so
there are other fowl that go above the
I'm just
water.
giving you a hard time because I'm physically, mentally incapable of using refined words tonight.
Yes.
Yes. So, now this is just a perfect microcosmic example of evolution at work. This is happening in a small amount of time, a very small amount of time. And I'm not saying small amount of time in the human perception of time, because this is about over 10,000 years, I think, we've been breeding dogs. But this is a ridiculously small amount of time as far as evolution is concerned. Now, I think it was Richard Dawkins who compared life on Earth to a piano. And bacteria, the life on Earth, as it was known as bacteria, would follow all the way up to about middle C, which is, as it's called, the middlemost key on the piano. So it's sort of the first key you learn as an amateur at the piano is middle C. It's right at the middle. And every other form of life, the dinosaurs, everything up to about 40,000 years ago, when the first Homo sapiens appeared on Earth, would fill to the last key on a piano half. And human life on Earth is about that last half of a piano key. Excuse me. So what you need to understand is evolution has taken over billions of years to achieve what it has. And what people don't seem to understand is that this is both mistakes and successes, and that those mistakes, they die off. This is the idea of natural selection.
They've gone extinct, such as Australopithecines.
Exactly. And this is the whole idea behind natural selection. Animals that evolution creates, that this machine that has been driving life from abiogenesis, from the Lord God, from anything that you believe.
And the numbness in my right arm.
Yeah. I got you there. Has messed up. And that this natural evolution, or natural selection, is the name we've given what corrects these screw-ups. Animals which cannot properly breed and which cannot properly survive if they do breed die off. It's so simple. It is something that happens, it just happens, but it is basically what natural selection is. And so over billions of years, we get what we have today, and it's still changing. And there are perfect other examples. Bacteria evolve at such a rate that antibiotics, which worked 25 years ago, have no effect today. They evolve resistances.
We can't even use frickin' penicillin on chlamydia anymore. The only reason I know that is because I've never had chlamydia. Don't worry about it.
The only reason I've known it is because I've had chlamydia since I was a babe. It's just happened. That didn't
Anyways.
So, yeah. So you
bacteria evolve resistances.
And people say, well, this isn't evolution. Of course it's evolution. It's microevolution. Evolution on a large scale, wherein species actually change, that's macroevolution. Now, you'd have to be stupid to deny the existence of microevolution. It's happening. Everyone accepts it. People
even like Kent Hovind accepted.
People like Kent Hovind accept it.
Yeah.
What Kent Hovind has a problem with is macroevolution, because macroevolution is God showing his head in nature, and he doesn't like this because it needles and it niggles with his ideals. So he comes up with these faux scientific ideas
in which he shoehorns the facts into his theory.
Yeah, his quote unquote theory. These ideas that sort of this is in my opinion creationists and just people like that in general versus scientists. Creationists come up with they
come up with the
proposition and find evidence to support it. Scientists find evidence and come up with a proposition, a hypothesis. Now, the problem with the first way is if you're looking for evidence, you're going to find evidence, which is exactly the opposite of what happens the second way, which is now there's a difference. When you find evidence and create a hypothesis, obviously you keep looking for evidence, and evidence makes its way. But if you start out with the hypothesis before evidence is collected, or before evidence at least starts pointing in toward the hypothesis that you created, you get sort of a tunnel vision and towards nothing but your hypothesis, unless the evidence has shown it to be completely accurate and wrong. And even then you can still,
And no
can still
matter
ignore it.
the massive amount of evidence that you have to support your hypothesis, as soon as you find one thing to refute it, bam, it's gone. It doesn't
And
work anymore.
we
Gotta
haven't
find another.
found any substantial evidence
Gotta find another
against
idea.
evolution. And if we have found any substantial evidence against evolution, it's not something that could disprove evolution, because evolution is really, at this point, its own science. And
Evolutionary biology.
There are hypotheses and theories within this science that probably get disproven and reproven every day. Evidence comes up. Oh, we were going down this one path for evolution. It's been disproven. Let's go down another path. Because at this point, evolution is such a wide theory, and there's so much evidence for it that really we can't just up and disprove it. And if we did up and disprove it, it would really just be playing into semantics, because the system would be very similar to evolution.
Yes. Evolutionary biology. I'd like to go to Oxford and study under Richard Dawkins.
That would be fun. Too bad. Well, you probably get straight A's.
Me?
That sucks about this year. Well, never mind. I'm not going to bother talking about it.
Fuck papers.
Well, you say that, but that's how you get into Oxford.
Yeah.
Rapos.
I say that, but I'm able to turn out some pretty well written pieces.
I always got bad grades because two reasons. One, I was really apathetic in both freshman and sophomore year of high school, to the point that I just did barely enough work to pass. And two, because I'm terrible at organization, and our quote unquote, well, no, not quote unquote, our fucking awesome, not really terrible school we go to, it just has this giant boner. I'm gonna say boner for organization. Now, this is a good thing, I suppose, but it also caused me to fail, because I'm like, fuck organization. I'm not gonna try something that I'm not good at. Of course, this changed this year, and then I'm a junior in high school this year, and of course, I've spent about 15 days in school due to pervasive medical issues. Cancer, it's like Brian.
Cancer.
Yeah. So this is the year I decided to get focused, to really make my future happen.
So we got a prescription for Adderall.
No, that was you.
Shut up.
I got a prescription for oxycodone because I have intense cancer pains, asshole. Not really, but they gave it to me anyway. I don't take it.
He sells it. I mean...
I still have it sitting in a bottle in case I need to take it. See, as I was saying earlier, I'm a teetotaler, which means I don't drink alcohol, I don't do drugs, and I don't smoke, unlike all of my friends. So, I also don't deal drugs either, though, because you know what? I don't care. It's mostly apathy more than anything. I don't have a problem with it. I just, don't give a shit. It turns out apathy can actually save your life one day. Yeah. So anything, back to evolution.
Hold on a second. You're starting to...
All right, tell me when it gets better.
All right, there it is. All right.
Back
to evolution.
To evolution. Now, I don't know, what will we talk about?
Back to evolution. God, we could spend fucking an entire episode, like
we really couldn't. We should
an entire 2 hours.
That's what we should have done.
Yeah.
Maybe another week we'll get into it deeper.
Maybe we could get a creationist on.
Yeah.
Do you know any creationists? I don't.
No.
Well, you know what would be fun?
What?
Let's call up Miles.
Busy.
Fuck.
Asshole.
No
He's
matter.
not busy. He's probably... Hold on, let's see what his Steam account says he's doing.
No matter. We only have like 10 seconds left anyways.
All right, we'll see you in part 7, which will be our
7.
final part of this episode.
Yes, we're finally going to get away from evolution. We're going to start talking politics.